I've been asked to play some tunes with the St Louis Symphony Orchestra, and they want me to play in A. So I'm going to take you through the stages that you can watch me do it, basically. I might make some mess ups, but whatever we do, we'll get there in the end. So these are my extenders that I made myself. These will actually make the drone stick out. So we've got about an inch there on the tenors, and this is the bass. We've got quite a bit more, maybe 2.5 inches on that one. So I'm just going to test where they are at the moment as far as pitch. You're going to have to take my word for this. So here's the pitch they're at now, 480, and we've got to come down to 440. Actually 443. The Symphony Orchestra plays in 443. So I'm going to put one of these things in. Now these are, I made these myself. They're just little bits of brass tubing, and I've kind of flanged them out at the end, and you can do that by, you heat it up there, and it's what anneals the metal. So when it cools down, it's quite pliable until you start working it, and then sometimes you have to re-anneal it, but you'll get there in the end. This is just so that that can fit there nice and snugly, and then this will fit in here. I'll put this down to 443, way down. Right, there we are. Now, see how close we are. That's 451. So we're getting there. Let's just move this out. Now moving the screw out will make it lower pitch. What you're doing basically is taking the length of the tenor drone. Obviously you move it up and down to change the pitch. So make it shorter, it's going to be higher pitch. Make it longer, it's going to be lower pitch. And this is how you tune the drone, like this. And obviously it makes it longer or shorter. So this basically has made the point go from here to here, so it's made it that much longer, and it's made quite the difference here. So I'm just going to unscrew this tuning nut or screw, whichever way you want to put it. So we've made it even, we've moved the length of the drone even further out by moving that. Right, that's bang on. Really sounds quite low. As I said before, these reeds are already set at about 480. We've done this one. This is now 443, which is where we want it to be. So I'm just going to take this out and do exactly the same thing with it. And I'm going to make sure that the hemp there is showing the same. So I'm going to make sure that they're both at the same pitch. It's not vitally important, but I like to get it there or thereabouts. And I'm going to unscrew that to just about the same length of that, just to see if it works. Each reed is individual, so you may have to do something slightly different with it. So anyway, get this in here, nice and tight in there. A little bit higher than we need it. It's 449, so I'm just going to do 2.5 turns. Well, needs more. So obviously this needs to come out more than that one does. Okay, I'm about at the limit now, and it's 446, so we're not quite getting there yet. Yeah, that's not doing anything now. So what I'm going to do is back the bridle off a little bit to make the reed slightly lower pitch. Now with easy drone reeds, you have to be very, very careful as to how much you move them, otherwise you kind of throw the thing out. So I'm moving this down like half a hair's breadth or something, or hair's breadth, something very, very small. And that's bang on now. So we got the 443. It's not sounding bad at all. Here's the bass, which is a cane one. So that's at 480. And this, I'll just pop this in here. And that's quite the extension, as you can see. Nothing you have to be careful of when you're doing this is when you put it back into the pipe, you've got to make sure it's pretty straight, otherwise it's going to hit the side. And obviously, because it's longer, it's going to be harder to get it to fit properly. Okay, I need to move that over there so I can hear it. It's a bit lower than I wanted, but that's fine. We can just move that up. Right. There's stage one. It didn't take long, and we'll get that in the pipes next. Right, so we put them together, we put the drone reed extenders in, we've tuned them to around about A443, that's the pitch that our symphony orchestra plays in St Louis. It's gone up a little bit because the oboe is like the brighter pitch, so sound familiar? Anyway, I'm going to put these in now and see where we are with them. Right, that's that blowpipe, which is in, and I don't need a cork because I'm just going to turn my pitch guard off so it seals. Okay, that's good. That just showed 442, so that's near enough to be okay with that. Right, so now the chanter. I'm fortunate enough to have a David Glenn chanter. It was, I don't know how old it is, it's got to be about 120 years old at least, but anyway. It did, somebody broke it and it's been repaired and put back together again. And it sounds fine. It's good, but now obviously we've got to get it in 443. I need a reed. Comes in handy. Right. Let's try this one. Well, whenever I'm going to blow this, I'm going to turn the mic down because it'll blow your ears off if I don't. Hopefully that's good. So, this tunes in about 452 at the moment. I don't think that chanters were ever designed to play an A. They float around 455, 56, 460, something like that. Anyway, so now comes the time for some placing of the tape. So I'm going to do that using the meter to see if it the low A's in tune. Once the high A's are already up 143. Once the low A's in tune, it's just a case of tuning in the little bits in the middle. So I'll just put some tape on it. At 450, I'm going to have to go a little bit further. Quite a bit further, actually. And that's almost there. If I underblow it a wee bit, it's on there, but I don't want to be doing that. I want a bit of a safety margin, so I'm just going to put a little bit more on it. Right, try that again. It's still on there, I'm just having to blow it very softly in order to get that in tune, so I'm just going to put a little bit more tape on it. I know this rubs some people the wrong way, but there's no other way of doing this. If you want to get in tune in a certain pitch, you have to use tape. It's just a case of getting those pesky notes in the middle in tune, and then Bob's your uncle. So we've got the drones in tune to where it needs to be. I'll just go through this real quick by ear. It should be pretty close. I'm pretty good at that. So that's sharp. So I'm just going to put a bit of tape on the B. It's better to need a bit of tape there because you know, we just put a bunch of tape on the low A. So that's what it's going to need. I'm not going to keep turning it up and down. Nice a wee bit sharp as well. Also, if you're going to err in any sort of way, it's best to err on the flat side. It doesn't make such a it's not so noticeable. I've got some tape in the low A, put some on the B. The C needs a bit as well. It's pretty obvious that it's going to need a little bit of tape. If we put the low A down and it's reasonably in tune chanter before we try to get in low A and put that tape on it, the other notes are going to need taping as well. So don't be afraid of taping. It's our friend. D sharp. Of course, back in the day, the D and high G on the old chanter was very, very sharp. If you listen to some old recordings, it's kind of in the stratosphere compared to where it is today. So these old chanters need a little bit more tape on the G and the high G, D and the high G, sorry. There's a little bit more. It's really quite sharp. Drastic measures are needed. I'm going to put that tape a little bit further down. A lot of a bit further down actually. Sharp. It's amazing for me, I know. Right. Put a little bit on that E as well because that E sounded a bit flat, sharp to me. Okay, but that high G was remarkably good. Got a little bit of tape on it, but must be the good reeds I put in it, because that could have been any explanation. Anyhow, now I'm going to put it in the pipes and give it a good fine tuning against the drones, and then I'm ready to go on Saturday with the symphony orchestra. Right, so thanks for tuning in and watching this. Hope to see you next week. Thanks.